Hi, everybody. My name is Stephen Hart, and we are Group 10, and we're going to talk about the Activision Blizzard merger and mergers in general. So just to give a brief history on the video game industry, the history of video games date back to the early 1950s, but it wasn't until the 1970s when video games became mainstream. This was the first time video games with joysticks and buttons and computer graphics were introduced to the general public, and the widespread popularity of video games in the home led to the development of arcades, which peaked in the 1980s. This was then followed up by personal consoles such as Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. These consoles, coupled with computer games and now even mobile gaming on our phones, have created a lucrative business that hit nearly $150 billion in revenue in 2019. Now over 60% of Americans play video games regularly. Recently, video games have also turned to the professional scene with the development of esports. Games like Dota, Overwatch, and League of Legends being the most popular, among others, dominate professional esports. Within the past couple of years, live streaming has taken over the video game industry as well. Names like Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tatman, Shroud, and Summit 1G now showcase their skills to tens of thousands of viewers live each and every day. As you can see, a hobby that was once considered to be kind of nerdy and lame has evolved into a wildly popular industry that generates billions of dollars. Now I'll turn the time over to Megan to talk about Activision and Blizzard more specifically.
Both Activision Incorporated and Vivendi Games are video game software publishers. Both of the companies have produced some of the most well-known video games and were considering merging with one another. Although this sounds ideal because of their great success, the companies use two different business strategies. Vivendi relied on subscriber revenue and Activision focused on production of hit sequels. Activision's strategy was to obtain brands that had many franchising opportunities with strong intellectual properties. They made games that could be played on all gaming console platforms and came out with many profitable games, such as Tony Hawk, Call of Duty, and Guitar Hero. In 1998, Vivendi Games acquired Blizzard, which focused mainly on PC games. They developed Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, and World of Warcraft. Would a merge like this be successful for both parties? What would be the possible harm in merging the companies? There are many opportunities and threats which Tanner will now discuss.
A merger between Activision and Vivendi is a partnership between two leading video game companies in hopes to gain additional value. The merger between these two would be considered a product extension merger, seeing as each company's portfolio complements the other. The merger also shows aspects of a market extension merger, as Blizzard's expertise in the Asian markets could be leveraged by Activision for growth opportunities in a market they have traditionally struggled in. There are many clear opportunities associated with the merger other than Activision's growth in the Asian markets. One of the main reasons for mergers is the potential synergies or cost savings through the partnership. The merger would also allow the new company to reduce dependence on content owners for their licensed products such as Marvel and DreamWorks. Also, this new company would take the leading position in all areas of the interactive entertainment industry. While there are plenty of opportunities derived from the merger, there are also many threats which need to be managed. One of the major threats to Activision and Vivendi comes from their large competitors, Electronic Arts and Take-Two Interactive Software, as EA entertained the idea of acquiring Take-Two. That particular acquisition would bolster the competitor's already strong portfolio. The main risk of the merger is a lack of value generated, whether this be through lower synergies or other unforeseen issues. There are also the concerns that the Federal Trade Commission may reject the proposed merger, citing anti-monopoly policies. But this bears low risk, considering there are multiple other competitors with large market share. Finally, the merger between the two would effectively abolish any future competition between Activision and Vivendi, as they would now be partners.
Hi, my name is Justin, and I will be discussing Activision's competitive advantage. Their first competitive advantage, and one of its biggest, is its diverse lineup of popular games like Call of Duty, Guitar Hero, and Tony Hawk. This small example of their diverse lineup hits major gaming categories like action, action/adventure, action sports, first-person action, and family games. Other categories they have product in as well are role-playing, racing, simulation, and strategy. By having such a diverse lineup in their games, it allows them to be competitive in all major gaming categories. With such a diverse lineup, they are also able to offer games on multiple platforms instead of being tied to just one platform like some of its competitors. They also focus on franchising market by having rights to brands like Marvel characters, movie titles released by DreamWorks Animation, and exclusive agreement with skateboarder Tony Hawk. By focusing on franchising market, they are able to create sequels to games that they can create and release for many years, keeping their fan base coming back again and again to buy their product. The Tony Hawk's franchise game alone brought in $1 billion in sales worldwide since its initial launch in 2007. They are also able to save money overall on developing sequels by not having to start coding from scratch. Another strategy is additional content in their gaming market, for example, Guitar Hero. With Guitar Hero games, they offered the players the option of purchasing an additional 5 million downloadable songs to play in the game. This allows for a continuing revenue stream after the initial purchase of the game. By focusing on these strategies, Activision was able to meet its objective of being a worldwide leader in the development, publishing, and distribution of quality interactive entertainment software and peripheral products that deliver a highly satisfying consumer entertainment experience. And next will be Connor to discuss Vividian competitive advantage.
Vivendi's competitive advantages not only allowed them to stay in the video gaming industry, it actually allowed them to become the leaders in the PC video game development market segment. Now, Blizzard, which was acquired by Vivendi, was known as the crown jewel of PC gaming. They had operating margins greater than 40%, and they've developed and published 4 out of the 5 best-selling PC games of all time. One of these games was World of Warcraft, which was the largest massive multiplayer online game in the world. It had a 62% market share in its segment. Now, how this game worked was consumers would buy the original game, and then they'd have to pay a monthly subscription fee to keep playing. And then on top of that, there was expansion packs that were released that many gamers considered essential. One of these was the Burning Crusade, which was the fastest selling computer game ever, with 2.4 million copies sold in 24 hours. Now, hopping back to the subscriptions, it provided a consistent source of revenue with 10 million subscribers worldwide. In 2007 alone, there was $1 billion in revenue. Now, 2.5 million of these subscribers came from North America, another 2 million came from Europe, and then a whopping 5.5 million came from Asia. Now, this makes Vivendi and Blizzard the first US or European video game company to achieve this Asian market penetration. Now, just to recap, the effective control of costs it takes to keep the operating margins greater than 40%, the consistent flow of revenue, and the success in the Asian market are the key competitive advantages that Vivendi has.
So in conclusion, it is our recommendation that Activision and Vivendi should merge. Each company brings significant assets to the merger, Activision with a notably long history for a video game developer, and Vivendi with the then up-and-coming success of World of Warcraft. Activision's large global reach was helpful in bringing World of Warcraft to Chinese audiences. Blizzard also gave Activision the benefit of its reputation as a studio that produced high-quality, popular products. Additionally, Activision Blizzard has been able to take advantage of Blizzard's Battle.net launcher, creating a singular online marketplace for all Activision and Blizzard products. This saves the company from having to pay third-party online retailers like Steam or Epic for online retail space. Thank you for listening to our presentation.